equivalent mass of an unknown metal. So I have my glassware set up, but I'm going to also set up my clamp to hold the test tube, because this reaction is going to produce some gas. I'm going to have a little bit of an angle in here and to put the test tube, so if the gas gets built up, it has a way of getting out. Create a vacuum in here by pouring water out of the beaker into the flask. I'm using a pump for doing that. You should see a movement of water. I can see it happening very slowly, but the water is actually moving up a little bit. So once you have it about 2-3 finger wide under the arm, that's good. I'm going to put the clamp on to make sure there is no air getting in there. Then I'm going to empty the beaker and mask the beaker. At the same time, I'm also going to mask a gelatin capsule and the unknown metal. The mass of the beaker that I was using for water, and I'm going to collect water in the same beaker as well. So the beaker is on the balance, and if you see the balance, it reads 161.6. I'm going to get a capsule, a gelatin capsule. I'm going to place the capsule on the balance, and it reads 0.116. That's mass of the gelatin capsule. If I tear it, then it's easier. I'm going to put about 0.1 gram of the unknown metal. Your unknown metal number is 10. So here I place the metal in there, and I'm going to replace the top of the gelatin capsule. I'm going to put it on the balance again, close the screen. It's 0.109 grams. So that's the mass of the metal by itself, because remember we teared the gelatin capsule. So that's the metal by itself. All right, everything seems to be ready. I have the beaker from before that I masked. So I'm going to replace the rubber hose back in the beaker, and I'm going to place the capsule that we just weighed into the test tube. Then I need to measure 10 milliliters of 6 molar hydrochloric acid. So 6 molar hydrochloric acid, making sure the bottom of that meniscus is on 10 and making sure there's no bubbles anywhere. So then I'm going to pour this in here, but as soon as I put that in there, the two things I have to pay attention to. One, to make sure that I replace the stopper. Secondly, to unclamp in here, because gas is going to be produced, and hydrogen gas, and it's going to get pushed into the flask, and is going to push the water from the flask into the beaker. It's important to allow the reaction to go to completion, because we don't want any waste in here. We want every drop of hydrogen gas to be counted for, because that comes from the metal, the unknown metal that reacted with hydrochloric acid. Pour the acid, the hydrochloric acid. As you see, the solution in the test tube has completely cleared, and there isn't really much activity going on. I have some water collected in here, which I'm going to mass in a minute. But before doing that, let's just measure the temperature of the water. And that's 19 degrees Celsius. .302.6 for the mass of the beaker and water.